My sister-in-law showed photos of me cheating at the family dinner. Now, my brother won't pay you anything. I stayed silent and pressed the play button on my phone. I have proof she's cheating, Amanda, my sister-in-law, said as she dramatically pulled out a manila. Everyone gathered around the dining table, gasping as she spread out photos on the shiny. I sat quietly at the end of the table, sipping my water and watching. My name is Sophie Bennett. I'm 32 years old, and I was watching my husband's family try to ruin my 8-year marriage. The irony was hard to miss. The photos showed me meeting different men over the past month, having lunch, coffee. In each picture, I looked like I was having deep conversations, smiling, leaning in, and sometimes touching their hands. To someone who didn't know better, it looked bad. Look at these, Amanda said with excitement. While David has been working hard, she's been running around town with other men. She turned to my husband, who sat quietly. He's not still next to his mistress, Jessica. Now you don't have to feel guilty about Jessica, and you definitely don't have to give Sophie anything in the divorce. His mother, Eleanor, picked up a photo with shaky hands. Sophie, how could you? We welcomed you into our family a long time ago. Her disappointment would have hurt me once. Now I just smiled and sighed. Well, Amanda pushed. What do you have to say for yourself? I calmly put my glass down and looked around the table. David still wouldn't meet my eyes. His parents looked upset. I noticed his father, George, seemed more uncomfortable than angry. Amanda stood tall, one hand on her hip, pointing at the photos. Nice pictures, I said. The lighting is great. You must have paid your private investigator a lot. She hadn't expected that. That's all you have to say, she snapped. You're not even going to deny it. I reached into my purse. Everyone tensed, waiting for tears or a confession. Instead, I pulled out my tablet and set it on the table. I asked, my voice calm. Those men are all divorce lawyers. I pointed at the photos. That's James Morrison, the best family lawyer in the city. This is Michael Chen. His firm specializes in cases involving cheating. He's great at handling cases where people try to hide money before a divorce. Amanda's face turned pale. David suddenly found his water glass very interesting. When I found out about David and Jessica 3 months ago, I decided to prepare. You're lying, Amanda said, but she didn't sound sure. I turned on my tablet. That's the great thing about legal meetings. There's always proof. I pulled up emails and signed agreements. But that's not even the most interesting part, I said, looking at David. Well, I said, during one meeting, I learned something about recent property transfers in this family. Lots of money and houses changing hands, new companies being formed. I let my words sink in. George shifted uncomfortably. Dad, he said slowly, is that why you had me sign those papers last month? It was just routine family business. I watched as realization hit him. His family wasn't just helping him cheat. They were hiding money before the divorce. David, sweetheart, we were just protecting you. Actually, you were committing fraud. I smiled, and my lawyers have proof. Amanda sank into a chair, defeated. You knew, she whispered. You knew this whole time. I nodded and grabbed my things. Next time you hire a private investigator, make sure they're not working for both sides. I stood up, fixing my dress. And one more thing, David's lawyers. I officially hired the best one yesterday. I walked to the door, then turned back. David, your lawyer will get the paperwork tomorrow. You might want to read it carefully, especially the part about fraud. And Amanda, I met her shocked eyes. They'll make great evidence. My heels clicked on the floor as I left. In my car, I finally allowed myself a small smile. They thought they had trapped me. They had no idea what was coming. The next few days were full of chaos. My phone wouldn't stop buzzing with messages from David. Some were threats, others were tearful pleas. Amanda, especially, kept switching between anger and panic. Her texts became more desperate. You can't do this to us, her latest message read. I thought about that word family. They hadn't treated me like family when they were planning to leave me with nothing. I ignored her message and focused on my preparations. James Morrison's law office was exactly what I expected. Shiny wood, leather chairs, and an air of power. Now you can watch the second part by pressing share and more.